Thanks very much for the opportunity to speak. I'm delighted to be here. And we're talking about setting up a patient advocate organisation, but really I'll maybe tell you a little bit of our story first to put a bit of kind of personal background on it. Our story began in 2011 when my wife, aged 39, was diagnosed with CLL. Before that day, we'd never heard of CLL, but we quickly became aware that this was going to be a problem that we needed to face head on, and that we needed to become educated about. The road to learning about this disease and dealing with it simultaneous was a tricky one and a difficult one. I have been a self-employed furniture manufacturer all of my working life, so this world of learning about cancer and medical science was a way out of my comfort zone. As Jan's disease progressed and became symptomatic, and threw a few curveballs in our direction, ITP, AIHA, low IGs. In fact, 3 years into our journey, she had a misdiagnosis of Richter's. The doctors in Dublin were calling it an evolutionary Richter's when she developed a lymph node in her neck. This went on for 7 weeks. We were told she'd need platinum chemo, she'd need transplant. And thanks to Dr. Patrick Thornton, he sent the lymph node over to Leeds in the UK, where we got a result back that it was only a virus, and panic stations had stopped. But we were going to need support to deal with the psychological aspects as well as up-to-date information. So we took to the internet, and it was there that we made and established connections and relationships with key players in the world of CLL and patient advocacy that today I'm proud and privileged to call friends. As the caregiver in our relationship, although my wife doesn't like that word, that my wife is at home and the caregiver's here, she's minding our 4 children, I felt the weight of responsibility heavily on my shoulders. I wanted to do the right thing and the best thing for Jan and our family. My standing here before you today is a byproduct of that need to take better care of my wife and family. Honestly, an accident of sorts. In our search for better treatment options, we looked to our close geographical neighbour, the UK. Jan was referred to see Professor Hillman by our Irish oncologists, so we made several trips for that purpose. And once we identified the CLL-SA as a possible network for support, we attended some UK conferences. We were honestly blown away by the support, the accurate information, how welcomed we were made to feel, and how professionally these information days were managed. From there, a seed of aspiration to do something similar at home in Ireland grew. Of course, as you know, it's one thing to think of an idea and another to put that idea into action. It was a chance meeting with another CLL patient and that friendship that she struck up with Jan that turned it from an idea into action. The ladies recognised the needs of other CLL patients after many hospital trips and long days in the infusion centre. We just wanted to establish a small group of like-minded people to get things moving. Very soon, a few others have come on board, including Daniel Peters, who's here, who does our IT, and has also created an app to help patients track their bloods and diseases and also help doctors. We meet regularly, and though personalities can sometimes clash, the level of commitment by these individuals to our common goal is inspiring. So here we are in the very infancy of our organisation. CLL Ireland has yet to be registered as a charity. Registration costs money, and Pharma can't sponsor an unregistered charity. We are working tirelessly on a fundraiser schedule for next weekend, the 18th of November, to raise the minimal funds to get CLL Ireland registered. After that, Pharma will engage with us. We've already had preliminary meetings with them. A public information day is scheduled for the 11th of March. We are working closely with the Irish Cancer Society to make this happen. Jan's own doctor and the only CLL specialist in Ireland has agreed to speak that day. We are making progress, but it is slow. Our collaboration with the Irish Cancer Society has already made an opportunity to improve things for CLL patients. In fact, the outdated literature that the Irish Cancer Society distributes for CLL, we noticed when we first read it, when Jan was first diagnosed, that when you go through the first page that you look at about CLL, it says that CLL is a good cancer. So we're kind of hoping to get rid of that. We never liked that. Another thing is that when we went to the chapter, which sometimes when you get them books for other cancers and CLL included, you go to the section about how to tell your children. And we went to that section because we have 4 young children at home. And it said that you don't have to worry about this one because you've CLL, your children are all grown up and left the home. Now, my children are 10, at that time, were 10, 8, 5, and 2. So I was a little bit worried how I'd go home and tell them they had to leave the house. Thankfully, that didn't happen. Ibrutinib and venetoclax and other novel therapies have changed the landscape for CLL treatment. But in Ireland, as in many other countries, access to these treatments is an issue. Jan took part in a trial in Leeds under Professor Hillman. She is 2 years taking ibrutinib now and doing very well. We are still battling with our own health service to fund Jan's participation in that trial. It has been an endless trial of bureaucracy that has yet to reach a conclusion. It's not good enough. Patients in Ireland are being ushered into chemotherapy without FISH testing. It's not good enough. Patients are still not participating in conversations with their doctors about treatment options. Their nausea during chemo is being mismanaged, and those who need IVIG are struggling to access it. They are left unsure and uncertain, drowning in a sea of medical jargon and economic considerations. Not good enough. Due to Ireland's small population, it is estimated that approximately 290 people a year are diagnosed with CLL. It is hard to see how a small charity like CLL Ireland can really be effective, unless it is part of a working network of sister charities. We see the future of CLL Ireland in establishing strong working links with CLL-SA and CLL-AN. Networking, both virtual and physical, sharing resources, people, information and knowledge sharing will help CLLI get to where it needs to go. Patients need to become their own advocates, which I understand is difficult when feeling sick. But join with a CLL support network is important. Many voices can make changes necessary for better outcomes. Our network has meant we were able to get resource material to help with meetings, and a special thanks to Nick York and Brian Kaufman for this, and the other members of CLAN. Thank you very much for listening.